What's up, Brainiacs? Welcome back to Brain Rot, and welcome to the predictions for the next movie of FNAF 3.
Predic, yeah.
Predict. So, in the end of the last episode of Brain Rot, we talked about the review of like the movie, and we're basically going over everything that happened, all the other bullshit. So, here we're gonna be talking about like our predictions for the next movie, obviously. Let's start off with like one of the biggest cliffhangers at the end of the last movie. Where is Vanessa's character going to be going into the next movie? Because at the end of the last movie, we saw her get possessed by Charlotte, aka the puppet, aka the vengeful one, or one of the vengeful ones, right? We saw her get possessed. We know in like the games, she ends up turning into Vanny. So I'm like wondering, I guess I'm asking you, Phoenix, since you know more about the lore. Where do you think they're going to take her character into like the next movie? Like, what are your thoughts on this?
It's complicated because we don't know a lot about Vanessa in the games, so it's kind of hard to say where her movie character counterpart is going to go. Now, like you said, in the games, Vanessa goes on to become Vanny after being possessed by Glitchtrap, who I think is the Mimic. I still haven't played Secret of the Mimic, and I've tried to staying away from that side of FNAF just to avoid spoilers. Still waiting on the VR mode, Steel. When's that coming out? But I think they definitely are trying to evoke Vanny. But the question is, are they going to go full Vanny, or are they just gonna go kind of halfway with it? And I think they're gonna go halfway, since it is the puppet that's possessing her, not any form of Afton or anything trying to be like Afton. So I don't think
Right.
we'll get like a full-on Vanny suit, but I do think we will get. Well, I mean, we already got like puppet-styled outfits for Abby and the Ghost Hunter girl. So we'll probably get something like that for Vanessa, but I think that's the furthest they'll go. I don't think she'll be the main antagonist or like a big antagonist for FNAF 3. I think maybe by like halfway through the movie she'll split off from Charlotte.
Right. How I kind of imagine like they'll like adapt Vanessa into like, turning into Vanny into like the next movie, or like, maybe they'll save it for like the fourth movie, right, later down the road. I think I do agree that like at some point like she might split off from Charlotte, because I don't imagine they'll just kill her off that easily. Like,
I mean, they
she's just
killed her
like,
off in one of the security breach endings, so they could. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
it's not out of the realm of possibility, right? But I just don't. I feel like that'd be like kind of like a waste, just to like kill her off and not have her like do more stuff, because at the end of the day, like the third movie is going to be Afton's movie.
Mhm.
He's such like a big like figure into like the lore and into like the games. I think they'll want to have like Matthew Lillard, oh my god, Matthew Lillard, right? Have his time to shine being Springtrap in his like his own slasher movie. How I kind of imagine they'll do Vanessa is like, you know, halfway throughout the movie, like she's like off doing like her own side quests, and like she splits off, but we already know previously that Vanessa is like already like not really mentally well because of like her trauma from like growing up with William Afton and Michael Afton being a fucking weirdo, and like the kind of influence that it kind of leaves people whenever like they're with like the puppet. I kind of imagine like it'll make her go like a little bit crazy, which will like lead to like the well, I guess persona of Vanny.
So I was actually gonna mention that. So I was gonna, I didn't mention it the first part, but as you were talking, I kind of thought about it. I don't think they're going to directly call her Vanny, because the Vanny persona is very Afton coded. But if Vanessa does kind of go crazy and go off the rails, I can imagine them going full Vanny after the puppet splits off from her. I could see it, especially if they do decide to make more movies continuing the story post Afton.
Absolutely, and I feel like it'd be like much more of like a better character for her, because like this is like been a character that we've been following since like the first movie, and it'd be interesting like seeing how like Abby and Mike have to like have to take down this like next like big obstacle in like their lives because like at some point like Vanessa was like their friend and like uh to others like Mike, Vanessa was like something more like his fine shit.
Nick's fine shit.
Hey, don't put me
Yeah,
in with that peasant.
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 But yeah, that's just like where I think they'll take Vanessa's character for the foreseeable future. Any other predictions for the movie that y'all might have?
Nick, we haven't heard your take.
You see, in the middle of y'all yapping about these villains, these ne'er-do-wells, you know what I mean? I realize I don't know shit about FNAF. So I don't know who's the next villain's gonna be for real, if I'm being honest. I'm assuming that they bring back her brother maybe for him to do something other than just like being a one-off like monocle wearing ass villain. But like maybe not. I don't know.
You don't really need to know FNAF because kind of right now we're talking about Vanessa's character in the movie specifically. Like we haven't really touched on anything else.
Vanessa. Does Vanessa become? Nah, I don't think they go all the way with Vanessa. I ain't gonna lie. I think they do halfway.
They do
I think
halfway.
they pussyfoot around it. Then they make us not really make us care about her because I guess we like we're kind of.
I guess we kind
forced
of
to
hate
care
her right
about
now.
her. Nah, that the ending was even though it was dumb as fuck and Mike should have never been the one to say, "Oh yeah, stay away from me" or whatever. It still makes sense, but we didn't actually talk about the ending of the fucking movie.
I mean, we kind of like
Well,
danced
I'm
around it in like the last video, but just like
a little bit, but again, it was more like about the quality of the movie. But I guess we should have talked about the ending, yeah.
should we talk about like what happened to Henry though? Like, because at the end of the movie,
Actually, yes,
play
because
the credits.
I had some thoughts about that too.
Right, because Henry, like, we see him talking with Mike. We didn't really talk about it that much in, like, the last episode of Brain Rot, but Henry did have some scenes shared with Mike, and he's, like, kind of sharing his, like, experiences, like, as being a father and, like, being a business partner with Afton. I kind of wish that they would have fleshed out more scenes with the I forgot the actor's name, but, like, he's good, right? The actor for Henry. I wish they would have fleshed out more scenes with him. At the end of the movie, though, we do see him like having like a little recording message for Mike saying that just to like basically get out of the way, that they're coming for you, and then we presumably hear someone break into his house and then attack him. But that's as far as it goes. I'm interested in see like if they'll bring him back for the third movie. I don't know if they killed him off. Like it's very very vaguely left up to like the audience to like assume what happened to him. It's up in the air at this point for what his fate might be. But yeah, I'm interested how they'll incorporate him into the next movie. Phoenix, I know you said you had some thoughts about it, so I'll let you take it away.
So, about if they'll bring them back, I'm sure they'll bring them back because the actor is Skeet Ulrich, who was, I think him and Matthew Lillard were like a team in the first Scream movie. I don't know, I haven't seen it, but from what I heard, it sounds like they were. So they wouldn't bring him in to play Henry if they weren't gonna have him and Afton share at least one scene. But so I think you already mentioned it that his recording got cut off because it seems like he was attacked at the end of it. I would assume that he got attacked by the puppet because it was a warning to Mike that Charlotte is coming for him. But then I thought about something. And this is a crazy pull. So, if you remember, in Vanessa's dream sequence, we see Circus Baby. Minor note is that her eyes are green. I don't think she's possessed because the puppet already had its tear streaks before Charlotte's death. So I don't think that we can use that little detail from the games in the movie universe. Not yet, at least. But in Five Nights at Freddy's, or I guess FNAF World, because it's not called Five Nights at Freddy's World. In FNAF World, Baby was first teased with what appeared to be Henry, at least at the time, talking about she's my last creation, she's dangerous or something like that. And then it cuts to black, and it cuts back with the dude at the desk being with a knife in his back, bleeding out. And then it cuts to another fade to black with two little green eyes shining through the darkness, and baby starts to talk. So I'm wondering if maybe Circus Baby is the one that attacked him. I don't know. I don't have any solid opinions on either, but it was just something I thought about after watching the second movie, after watching the movie the second time. That popped into my head. I'm like, wait, am I cooking here? Probably not, but it's just an idea.
No, that's a definitely like interesting like way of like, you know, seeing the different like setups that they might be doing, which I honestly didn't pick up on that part either. Like I completely like forgot about that whole segment in FNAF World where, you know, Henry is just like attacked by Baby at the end of the game as like a bonus scene. But it's kind of interesting how they incorporated FNAF World into like the lore, because like it's not a canon game. It's just supposed to be like a little fun project that the creator Scott Cawthon made to, you know, pass the time
Well,
for fans, and he just incorporates some lore at the end.
It is canon because in his second interview with Daco, he mentions that one of his biggest regrets with FNAF is tying it into the lore. So like there is important stuff there. It's just how it connects is the question.
I missed that detail. I didn't think it was canon.
It is, yeah. And nowhere is this clearer than the... I don't know what they're called because I haven't played it myself, but there's a certain set of minigames that are very intentional setups to the minigames in FNAF 3.
Mm-hmm. Which are?
I don't know exactly how they play out in FNAF World, but if you remember in FNAF 3, there is all the minigames where you have to take the cupcakes to the children, which then brings together the Happiest Day minigame.
Okay. It'd be interesting to see like what kind of outcome we get on the third movie. Like if it'll stick to like a more realistic approach and like, you know, everyone like dies or something, or if they will actually have like a happy ending. But at the same time, like this is the third movie and like this is like an ever expanding franchise, so like it's more than likely like it won't be too much of a happy ending, because like, you know, they still have to make more movies at the end of the day for this Five Nights at Freddy's franchise.
Well,
so
see,
I guess
the
like one of
thing
those things
is-
we'll have to wait and see.
The thing is that Scott still owns FNAF, right? It's not like something else. Like he didn't sell the property to Universal or Blumhouse or Steelbook or anybody. He is still
Right.
majority in control. So he could just say, "We're done at 3," and they can't say anything about it. And I up until the FNAF 2 movie, I believed, well, maybe he'd do more. You never know. But I 100% believe that he would stop at 3 because he could use the movies as an opportunity to clean up the lore, tell a more cohesive story, and have a definitive ending, at least for one continuity. The thing that
Right.
that makes me question this is Circus Baby. So we saw Circus Baby in a dream, so we can't be for sure if she is real in the real world in the movies or not. But she more than likely is, probably. So my question is, are they going to do are they going to try to integrate Sister Location into FNAF 3? Or post FNAF 3, are they going to kind of end it with Afton there and then continue with Sister Location and everything after that? Or are they going to try to merge everything into one movie? Or alternatively, like the games, Springtrap could
There's a
survive
lot
and
of
then they
ors.
could do... It's FNAF, there's a lot of ors. Or they could follow the games, Springtrap survives FNAF 3,
Dog.
they do Sister Location, and then they do Pizzeria
Dog.
Simulator.
Yeah, you lost me on like the.
You loud.
Nah, you lost me a long
got
time
lost
ago.
too,
I ain't
didn't
even
you?
gonna lie.
I blanked the fuck out. What?
Okay, so there is one, two.
How many ors did you just say?
There's
said like 5.
4 outcomes for the FNAF movie universe. Outcome 1 is they just stop at movie 3. Springtrap dies, Afton is dead, his legacy is dead, and the characters can move on with their lives. Option 2 is that Circus Baby is a real animatronic in the movies, and this is going to apply for the other outcomes as well, but for this one specifically, they take elements from Sister Location and put them into FNAF 3, and then they end it there. The next two options both have them continue in movies. Option 1, or I guess option 3 out of 4, is that they end William here in FNAF 3 and continue telling new stories, readapting Sister Location and other games from there. Maybe that's how they go into Security Breaches. They go Sister Location to Security Breach or something like that. And then option 4 is they just straight follow the games. Afton survives FNAF 3, they do something Sister Location dedicated, and then they do a pizza sim type thing where everything comes together. That probably didn't help, did it?
Hey, I understood a little bit more better what you said. It's just that the way you explained it, it kind of made me lost, and like even I know like the lore. I can only imagine like how Captain Nixon over here was like trying to like follow like what you were saying.
Nah, my brain just like fucking exploded just then. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore. I ain't gonna lie.
Audience at home, like let me know. Did you follow anything at all? Like without having to rewind what he said, like did you follow it on the first time?
When this video comes out, there should be a graphic up on the screen with the flowchart of what exactly I said. I think that'll make it a little bit more clear. Hopefully.
Just put up that meme of like Charlie Day, like with like the chalkboard and like the sticky notes on the board.
That's exactly how I felt when I was talking about Circus Baby being the one to attack Henry. It's just I feel like I'm onto something, but I don't have solid proof.
So what I imagine what they're going to be doing for the next couple of movies, because a lot of people are saying this, and like you can find this in other reviews. People have been talking about this like throughout, like online. They think that like Michael in this movie is a redeemable character to a certain extent because he didn't actually like technically like drop any bodies this movie himself. It was mostly Charlotte. He was just kind of there and being weird and wanting to like continue on like the legacy of like Michael Afton. But I think in the third movie, if they like write it correctly and like they tinker it just well enough, Michael will see how much of a monster that William Afton is. I feel like I accidentally called William Michael. Anyway, I feel like the character Michael Afton, right, that we saw in the second movie, we'll see how much of a monster Springtrap is. And that will lead him into being like the heroic hero that he is known for being inside of the games. Hence leading us into Sister Location, where he's freeing the souls of his sister and the other poor souls that got lost into the Sister Location. I think that'd be much of a better segue.
So my issue with that is that we've already seen the family photos in Vanessa's childhood home. And we saw that she had a brother in the photos, or at least a sibling, because there was 2 kids. But we never see Elizabeth. And like I mentioned earlier, Circus Baby's eyes are already green. But with the puppet, the tears were already a part of the design before Charlotte's death. So we can't really trust the green eyes being a tell for possession. The eyes did turn on and turn to look at Vanessa, but that could just be something that could be remote controlled because that's not out of the realm of possibility in this movie.
I think it could be hinting at the fact that like it is possessed by some poor soul and it is noticing Vanessa. This is her nightmare after all. So like we've known the character Vanessa to be known very, very shameful of like their past mistakes, like not saving Charlotte and being like, upset of like, letting their friend die. They feel awful about like the mistakes that they made or just like keeping quiet about like what they've gone through. At the same time though, I get what you mean. Like we did see like family pictures of like the Afton family. We could see a different perspective from Michael's POV. Like if he has a different flashback in like Dream, like he remembers like things differently than Vanessa. Maybe there was another family member that they had, maybe step brother, maybe blood brother, whatever. I feel like there's still like room for like them to like add different stuff into the story, for them to like make it work. But that's just me though. That's just me.
See, did you want to say something, Nick? Maybe it's just background noise.
I'm
I
here.
think I think it's just.
Okay. Well, you moved, so it looked like you wanted to say something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, he's just here to fill some space.
He's just here. All right. So see, the thing with about the FNAF movies is that I'm actually enjoying the deviations they're making from the game, because one, it allows them to streamline the story, and two, it allows them to tell a different tale on the story. Like for example, Charlotte didn't allow the kids to possess the animatronics. That was completely separate. She is a protector, but not of the missing children. So I'd actually be fine if Michael stayed a villain throughout the whole throughout like the whole movie saga, because we already have Mike Schmidt, who was like Michael's good half from the games, and then we have Michael Afton, who is like his pre-good guy phase, because he was never like straight up a bad guy, but he was never like a great guy either, at least pre-scooping. And that's another
I
thing.
hope he gets scooped.
That's another thing, actually. I don't know if you heard about this. You probably have. Some people think that he might already be scooped, and that's why he's evil, which I don't necessarily buy. But is it just a thought? Yeah, we'll explain this when we do
like
this
a really
dislocation
long
video.
stretch. That feels like a really long stretch to say that he's already scooped in this continuity.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's
y'all
my own
saying
bias.
scooped or scooped?
Scooped?
Scoop.
Like
So,
an ice
I
cream.
thought y'all was saying scooped. I'm all
This
like,
would actually be a
bro.
perfect opportunity for us to explain to Captain Nixon here what actually happened to Michael Afton.
We need a whole a whole location video for that, and we haven't even covered FNAF 4 yet, let alone FNAF 3.
Okay, so basically the quick rundown that we can just give him right now, like, instead of like making like,
Okay.
all the other stuff. Just to give a quick rundown,
Okay,
Captain
so
Nixon.
the
right?
scooper is an abbreviation. It basically just injects, for lack of better words, soul juice into an animatronic to give it life. And Michael Afton found himself caught in the scooping room, which houses the scooper. So the scooper scoops out his insides, and his innards are replaced with Ennard, which is an amalgamation of all the sister location animatronics, and they use his freshly scooped skin to as basically a disguise to escape the underground bunker. I hope that was brief.
Hearing you explain that out loud just made me realize how fucking insane this lore actually is.
That's some convoluted shit right there. I'm not gonna
That
lie.
is the most
dude.
insane shit I've ever fucking heard.
And that gotta
That's
be
the
one of
most straightforward
convoluted
FNAF
shit
has
I've
ever
heard.
gotten.
It is. Don't get me wrong. Like, Scott's probably not watching this video. Scott, I love your games, right? Love them to death. I really do. That is fucking stupid.
I was literally, the moment y'all was yapping about it, I was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, this is dumb as hell. But I was gonna say, it, but
I saw a comment on Reddit recently. I don't remember the exact wording, but it said it really good. It said it really, really well. Scott is good at having a story, but he's not good at telling that story, if that makes sense.
bro's literally just M. Night Shyamalan, bro. He got good ass ideas, but can't deliver. Oh, man.
But yeah. Is there anything else we should probably like talk about for the next movie, like predictions? We covered a lot of bases. We covered, Vanessa, Vanny. We covered Henry, Emily.
We didn't cover Michael, actually. We touched on his involvement in like a sister location type thing, but we didn't actually cover it in the movie. At the end, he escaped. His badge was left on the floor. How do you think he's gonna get reintroduced? Do you think he'll be responsible for like waking up Afton, or what do you think?
What if he was the one who sent baby after Henry? What if he's the one who actually invented Fazbear Fright, so he can go purposely loot everywhere into like the other Fazbear locations to try and get more animatronics, because his animatronics did get destroyed. that could just potentially lead into like the next movie. That's just what I think, though.
Actually, that's
Am-
not a
am I
bad
cooking?
idea. The about like needing more animatronics, because from the sound of it in the movie, it doesn't sound like he knows that Springtrap exists. It sounds like he just assumed that his father died and that was it. So I also wouldn't put it past him to be behind Fazbear Frights, considering he was the one behind Fast.
He was the one behind FazFest. That is actually true. So like, for him to make Fazbear Frights, it kind of just makes the most sense to me in this context. I might have
I
just
think
predicted
you
the
could.
next.
I think
I might
that was
have
the
just predicted
craziest. That was a W
Listen,
predict. W
Y'all come
predict.
back in the next couple of years. Let me know if I got this shit right.
W predict. I ain't gonna lie. I think you're ahead of the fucking nut right there, bro. Like,
I might have just looked into the future just now.
You
yeah.
cook so hard, they're gonna have to completely rewrite the FNAF 3 script like they did with Shrek 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fuck it. We don't need that movie, actually.
Nah, Scott, let's get in contact. I'll give you my email. We'll write something up.
Yeah, we can get some shaky. You know what I mean?
Hey Scott, if you do end up seeing this video, can I get a cardboard cutout? I think that'd be hilarious.
Huh?
Can I
Of
just-
what?
can I just-
Of
can I just
Chica?
hand me out
You
the movie?
dirty fuck.
No,
What?
Scott Coffin cutout.
Nah. We know you stole it, bruh.
You're the one who stole the animatronic off the FNAF 2 set.
But nah, we all know that was Nick.
Huh? If it was Vanessa, boy, let me stop, boy.
You made one
Boy, what the hell? Huh?
You're the one who stole the cardboard cutout of Vanessa.
Wait.
Yep.
Wait. A cardboard cutout of Vanessa was stolen?
I mean, no, I just made that up, but like, you would steal that?
Huh?
What were you talking about?
Huh?
What were you talking about?
I beg your pardon? Listen, we
Anyway,
must stay
guys, this has been
focused.
like the recap, the predict video for the FNAF 3 movie set, or like, you know, movie fucking shit. Let us know your predictions for the next movie coming out in like, I don't know, like maybe like 2.5,
I'd
maybe
say like
3 years.
2027 at the earliest.
Jump that shit in 10 years. Yep.
Yeah, probably like an October release in for 2027. But yeah, let us know your predictions for the next movie. We also like to thank you all so much for watching this prediction video.
Also, Happy New Year's if this is the first video. We didn't.
Yeah. It's probably gonna be like the first video that comes out for
No,
next.
you don't
for next year,
you
so.
don't wanna have the outro be wrong if we end up coming up with another video before then.
I mean,
But-
it's still
but-
Happy New Year's. It's still the same, but it's still the first month.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it feels
like-
weird since it's still this like mid-December.
So it's like if this video comes out on the 2nd, you're not gonna say Happy New Year.
We can edit it in later. We'll do the
Bruh,
post.
all right.
All right, bro. Like
Yeah, you got it, bro. Like,
you got it. Like
oh my god.
if you made it this far into the video, just leave a comment down saying that you're a dentist or some shit. This has been
Huh?
Mario Fan. This has been Captain Nixon. Blaming
Kinda.
Phoenix. This has been a Brain Rot Show. We'll see y'all next time.